Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Chakadash, the bloods of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hope and elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim. I do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled The Lone Star State, right? And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25. And it reads, And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And the reason I'm titling this one The Lone Star State is because if you're not in tune, Governor Abbott, all right, the one in the wheelchair, the governor of Texas, is frustrated, okay, with the current president Joe Biden's policy on the migrants, right? He believes that the laws are too lax, and these southern states and different red states in agreement, all right, want the right to defend themselves and pretty much stop these people from coming in, and because you got a lot of bad apples that are coming over there, and they're pissed off that the U.S. tax dollars, the U.S. taxpayers are paying this shit, so they're frustrated and want to take things in their own hands, and they're saying, look, we're willing to break the hell off, okay, from this United States, if you will. And that's always been Texas's spirit. That's why, it's a nomen they call the Lone Star State, because there's times throughout history where they wanted to make their own currency. They wanted to break off from the union. A lot of times they wanted to just break off and do their own thing. Why? Because they're not in agreement, okay, with how the main government has done things, or the United States government has done things. And this is what led to stuff like the Civil War in the past. And we're on the verge of a second Civil War. When all hell breaks loose and 2nd Ezra, the 15 and 16 chapters start taking place in sedition amongst men, a lot of these Lone Star-like states that, that are heavy on the Constitution and don't like the way the left is really leading things, all right? They're going to be the main ones fighting against some of the things we talk about, the CHIP, martial law, and all that, man, because you have a lot of these Edomites that go off grid and are prepping their minds for this, man, prepping themselves for this. And guess what? They're not just in the South or the Bible belts. They're also in blue states, because not every state unilaterally just believes the same exact doctrine, all right? So that's even more division, all right? And I'll give you an example. I'm in New York, right? New York is a blue state, but you have a lot of... The other day I saw a dude with a shirt on that said Trump 2024. I'm like, shit, that's my man. Go Trump, right? But he's in a blue state, man. And President Trump, former President Donald Trump, when he's in, that's when pots get stirred, because he creates a lot of indecisiveness, man. He creates a lot of indecisiveness. Verse 26, Matthew 12 and 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And yeah, all right, there's even division amongst the elites. We always speak about this. Not every single member of the elite are in unilateral consensus in terms of who's going to rule or how it's going to go about. The best comparison I could give is Game of Thrones, all right? You have all these different elite families in Game of Thrones that want to sit on the Iron Throne, all right? They all want one world government ruling under their particular house, but going about it, they fight over it. They fight over their agenda. My family should take this much share and that much share, and so that they fight. So that division, all right, is a prelude to this kingdom eventually coming to an end. So they're going to be unified in certain thought processes, like a one world order and the RFID microchip, all right, but they're going to be in division about who should rule, how they should go about it, when they should do it. These things are going to be happening, okay? Now I'm going to jump to Amos 3 and 3 and then jump to Isaiah 19. Amos 3 and 3 says, Can two walk together except they be agreed? Right, and the United States, and Apostle Tahal brought out a camp, it's 25, right down the middle, completely divided in half. 25 states, all right, that are with the, Governor Abbott, and 25 that's with this bullshit. And there's originally 50 states. I mean, now you have, Hawaii and Puerto Rico, whatever, but originally there's 50. So there's a straight division right there, man. All right. And the thing too, the theory is the reason that the blue states are being so heavy on the migrants and having these people come through is because they want to rig the elections again, right? They're trying to do things like, you know, no voter ID required. So they're saying that Biden is trying to gain the favor of the migrants to have them vote and then, you know, rig the ballot and then use that reason as justification as to why Biden gets a second term, because they do not want Donald Trump back up in there. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that look, it's left wing, right wing, it's the same bird. Not saying he's so much of a virtuous leader or nothing like that, but he goes off script and off candidate, and you know, there's different factions of elites out there, all right, that want different things. You know, like for example, the left, they're pro-war, right? So you got companies Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, TransDigm. These different companies lobby for the left to get back in because that's the one that issues out war. Typically, Democrats bring us into war. Donald Trump, he did 4 years, no war. So you could see why, you know, certain elites in the military-industrial complex would not want that, all right? Or his restrictions on social media, right? In terms of separating them being an author and a platform. The fact that YouTube deletes our video and it's supposed to be a platform, not a publisher, all right, that's what the things that Donald Trump was challenging, right? Under a particular article, I believe it was Article 230, that pretty much said that they shouldn't be deleting our videos because therefore there'll be a publisher and not a platform. It's just like if, you know, if you wrote a book, right? You wrote a book and you put whatever you want in the book, and you pay the library to host your book. The library can't go and edit your book because the library is a platform, not a publisher. But these platforms like YouTube and these different things act as publishers and platforms. So it's stuff like that, man. There's little intricacies, but it's going back to this Amos 3:3. Can two walk together unless they be agreed? And they obviously can't. You know, if me and you are walking down a straight path and there's a fork in the road, and I say let's go right, you say let's go left, we will no longer walk together. And that's what we're seeing with this country. It's very divided, man. It's very divided on particular issues, man. It's not unified in solidarity, and that's the telltale signs that, look, a kingdom is going down. Hell, it happened to our kingdom, right? When the south went against the north, Judah against Ephraim, if you will. This is the book of Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians," the modern day Egyptians, all right, or the so-called white man, all right, because Revelations 11:8 says, you know, our dead bodies shall lie in the land that is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So how is this land spiritually Egypt? Because we're in bondage, all right? We came here in hardcore bondage. Now we're in contractual bondage. And also it's only two places, you know, where the south and the northern kingdom were in captivity together, all right? That only happened in ancient Egypt and the modern day Egypt. It says, "And they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Again, this is what we read about in Revelations, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. And, you know, them not regarding their princes or kings, and Texas is already in that spirit. Them southern guys are already in that spirit, like, you know, my constitutional right, you can't step foot here, that. They know them laws better than the fucking cops know the laws, because they're all about that shit. It says, "And the spirit of the Egyptians shall fail in the midst of thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." So when all hell breaks loose, and, you know, this stuff becomes divided, red against blue and all that, even more predominant, okay? Yeah, I mean, shit, people are going to be scrambling looking for answers, all right? But let's see. My thing is, you know, Texas has been saying, let's break, and Texas is fucking massive, man, all right? The whole United States population, there's even one video called "Overpopulation is a Myth," saying they could fit the entire world's population on the landmass of Texas. Because, you know what, the perception is that we're overpopulated, but it's just the way cities are designed, right? Metropolitan cities metropolises are designed where they condense a lot of people, all right, in a small area. So you have the impression that, oh shit, we're cramped. But let's take New York, for example. Most people in New York are in New York City. But New York State as a whole is fucking huge, man. It's acres and acres of land. So the landmass of Texas is enormous, man. But, you know, again, so they could do their own shit, you know? And they could definitely do their own shit. It's spread out, all right? And, yeah, it's crazy. But these blue states, these left-leaning states, they passing some bugged out shit, man. To where Esau's like, what the fuck you talking about? Letting people out of jail, defunding the police, all this type of shit. People are like, are you fucking crazy? These Democrats, left-leaning, crazy, woke Democrat, they on some crazy shit. So even people in, like I said, blue states are like, yo, man, this shit is bugged out, to where they're leaving. I remember that happened too when I was doing Lyft and Uber. Like, a lot of these wealthy people just fucking left New York. They was like, I can't stick around no shit like this where I could just, my businesses just get shut down at any moment in time. Get the fuck out of here. And they, you know, they went to places like Tennessee and Florida to evade taxes and all this type of. So yeah, a lot of these, you know, U.S. citizens per se, okay, are not really fucking with this left-leaning craziness, you know, and a lot of them are. So, but again, that's that division, all right? That's that division that the Most High is stirring that pot up, okay? And of course, Texas, all right, is leading the charge as they normally do, okay, being that lone star state. So let's see where this leads. You know, it's always something going on in the news, and it's all tied to prophecy. So I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Rachakudash. Want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.